Well, hello, and thanks for watching another episode of ARFCOM News, your twice-weekly dose of the finest 2A propaganda. This no-neck having control freak is Tony Gonzalez. He's the guy AK Daddy is running against in the Republican primary for District 23 in Texas. He beat Brandon, kind of. That is, Gonzalez got more votes, but it's not over yet.
I didn't hear no bell.
Although Gonzalez did get more votes than Brandon, he did not make it to 50%, and that means there will be a runoff election between him and Brandon on May 28th. Gonzalez was censured by the Republican Party of Texas for voting in support of Biden's bipartisan gun control bill 2 years ago. This guy is a bona fide scumbag and no friend to gun rights. One could look at these primary results and draw the conclusion that 56% of the voters in District 23 do not want Gonzalez to have any more chances to undermine our gun rights. Whether or not you live in Texas, if you are a United States citizen, you can donate to Brandon's campaign, and I encourage you to do so. Because that gun control bill that Gonzalez voted for affects all of us. Just go to BrandonHerreraForCongress.com/donate or click the link down there in the doobly-doo. Come on, you were just going to spend that money on Miami Tiger Stripe Ranger panties anyway. Let's go, Brandon. But it would be impossible for us to produce quality 2A propaganda without sponsors, so let's pay some bills. Today's video is sponsored by TNVC.com, your source for good old-fashioned all-American night vision just like Mom used to make.
Hey friend, it's dark half the time on this planet. Unless you got magic powers or a mountain of carrots, you need TNVC to see at night.
And by Hydra. From the genius that created the Bushmaster firearm comes the Hydra Mark 15, the ultimate weapon platform. Modular, versatile, and mission-driven, the Hydra Mark 15 quick and easy caliber changes give you a whole lot of options without costing a whole lot of money. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy, honestly, dude looks exactly how I'd expect the governor of New Jersey to look. Anyway, old Phil here hates the poors almost as much as he hates gun owners. He recently published his budget proposal, which indicated there would be modest increases for firearm permits, but when the last remaining journalist at NJ.com pressed the governor's office for details, he got this list, as reported by Bearing Arms. Every one of these fees increased by more than double. The obvious intent here is to make it more expensive to exercise our rights. It's a glimpse at the real purpose behind all gun control, which is to buttress the class divide and keep the filthy poors in their place. Gun control has never been about the guns. It has always been about control. New York Governor Karen Hodor has decided to deploy the National Guard to combat the horrifying waves of violent crime she caused. And I just love the image that they decided to go with. Shows some dirtbag with his hand in his pocket and an Air Force troop looking confused about what to do with his feet when standing at ease. Pile over there on the left ain't doing nothing wrong, but ooh, wow, he is a dead ringer for that dude in Full Metal Jacket. Their job will be to help police officers perform warrantless random searches of subway passengers. So the New York government creates a terrifying hellscape of crime by releasing violent psychopaths. They defy the Supreme Court and deny citizens their right to defend themselves. And when people, inevitably and understandably, decide to risk prosecution and carry a weapon just so they can survive their commute, these despots respond by trampling New Yorkers' Fourth Amendment rights as well. Ironically, passengers are free to refuse the searches and just leave the station. Now let's think pragmatically about that for a second and forget about the obvious Second and Fourth Amendment rights violations and just consider how that plays out in the real world. It means that a normal, decent person is not going to risk missing the train and being late for work. But the thug who just wants to rob people will turn around and walk away, then come right back a couple minutes later. He can keep on trying as many times as it takes to not get searched. If you approach a DUI or a TSA checkpoint and turn around to leave, you're going to get hemmed up. But if you can just refuse a search, well, you've got to be a window-licking moron to allow them to actually catch you.
The snozberries taste like snozberries.
So you're not going to stop any weapons. Oh, and Hodor also proposed that people should be banned from trains for 3 years if they beat the shit out of other passengers. Just 3 years. How about this? If you beat people up, you don't ever get to ride the train again until you can prove you're civilized like the rest of us. Let's play a game. I'm going to play a clip for you, and I want you to guess whether this person is a politician.
You want to be a good citizen.
But you want to be a politician.
I want to be a good citizen. I do not want to be a politician at all. I want politics. That requires a certain. Every job requires a certain skill set.
Yeah.
And being a politician requires a skill set that I do not have.
Answer: yes, he is. He is in fact a politician. Okay, ready for the next question? Does he expect gun owners to vote for him?
This is how many magazines a gun can have. I mean, what gun do you need to have 100 bullets in it? That doesn't mean I'm going to take your gun away.
Right.
But do you really need 100 bullets at one time?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, do you have that kind of ADD? Are you in that kind of a hurry? We're like, no, I want to shoot 100 bullets. Exactly.
There's a lot of deer out there.
And by the way, are you going to eat a deer that has 100 bullets in it?
Again, the answer is yes. Bernie Romero is running in the Republican primary for the U.S. Senate in Ohio, and his website says he's running because he wants to vigorously defend our constitutional rights, especially the Second Amendment. Does this sound like a guy who even understands the natural God-given right to defend self, family, neighborhood, and nation from aggression? Romero was a car salesman who got rich on crypto when he made those comments we just heard. Now he wants to clean up his image and package himself as the platonic ideal of a Republican candidate. There are 2 other candidates running, and neither of them are AK Daddy, so I'm not going to simp for them, but let's make sure this guy doesn't get the nomination. If you live in Ohio, get out there on Tuesday, March 19, and vote for either Frank LaRose or Matt Dolan. The city of Baltimore is suing the ATF with the hope of forcing them to violate the TART amendment, which prohibits them from releasing firearm trace data to politicians or anyone else who isn't a cop. The mayor of Baltimore wants access to that information so he can harass lawful gun dealers in other cities and states. Not in Baltimore, because there are no licensed dealers in Baltimore. He knows damn well the guns used in crimes are almost always stolen or purchased through straw sales, so it's not like that info is going to be useful in any legitimate way, but it would enable a crusade through harassing lawsuits. Of course, the steppers at ATF would like nothing more than to release all the information they have directly to the public. If they could publish every 4473, the entire NFA registry, and the personal information for every dealer in the country, they would do it with a smile. So it's not like we should expect them to be defending very vigorously against this lawsuit. So the National Shooting Sports Foundation stepped in to file a motion in the lawsuit, reminding the court the TART amendment was passed with the support of law enforcement organizations, because releasing detailed information is not going to just harm gun dealers, but it will also jeopardize ongoing criminal investigations. Now, we'll be sure to keep you updated on the outcome of the suit. And now, for your moment of Zen.
The purpose of what I'm trying to illustrate to you here today is to show you.
Hey friends, do you like pews and other pew-related things? Would you like to help us keep delivering you pure, uncut American pew propaganda at the low, low price of free $99? We literally couldn't pay the bills without our sponsors, so do us a solid and get yourself something nice from them. You deserve it. I love you.